example, Pritzker from Illinois did not understand his capacity. Not simply ask the federal government to provide unlimited support. I mean, you have to take the support where you have it, but we are there to stand with the governors and to help the governors, and that's what we're doing. And they have a tremendous capacity that we've already built up, and you'll be seeing that. We're going to be introducing a couple of the folks in a little while to talk about it. I want to draw your attention to Governor Cuomo's remarks during his press conference today. He said the president is right. The state's testing is up to the states to do, which will implement the tests and logistically coordinate the tests. We have about 300 labs in New York, and they're great labs, actually. It's my job to coordinate those 300 labs. I think the president's right when he says that the states should lead, and the governor is they're really getting it together in New York. A lot of good things are happening in New York, and I think the governor is going to come in to see us tomorrow. He's coming to the Oval Office tomorrow afternoon. Andrew is going to be coming in with some of his people, so we look forward to that. Some of the articles that just recently came about, if you remember, I put out a statement today. For a month it was all ventilator. That's all people could talk about was ventilators. And we did a great job with that. We built a lot of ventilators, to put it mildly. We have so many now that at some point soon we're going to be helping Mexico and Italy and other countries. We'll be sending them ventilators, which they desperately need. They were not in a position to build them themselves. But we have thousands being built. Every state they have the ventilators. If they don't, we have almost 10,000 in our Federal Reserve, or stockpile as they call it. And we did a great job with the ventilators. Unfortunately, the press doesn't cover it, other than the fair press. But so then you say, gee, they need ventilators, we don't need ventilators. And that's under pressure we did that. Nobody that needed a ventilator in this country didn't get one. And a story that just came out, how the media completely blew the Trump ventilator story. I'm sure you'd love to see that. That's by Rich Lowry, respected journalist in person. How the media completely blew the Trump ventilator story, which unfortunately it did. And here's another one that just came out. Kyle Smith, the ventilator shortage that wasn't. The ventilator shortage that wasn't, because we got it fixed. And we're also going to help the states, by the way, stockpile ventilators, so if a thing like this should happen again, they've got them. The stories on testing are all over the place, and we're actually in good shape. I'm going to have the Vice President and others speak to you about that, but we're in very good shape on testing, and we're getting better all the time. You're going to see some interesting things. I thought before I went any further, though, I'd like to have General Semonite, who's done an incredible job, tell you where we are. You know, we're still building beds in hospitals for people that need them. I guess the hospital business general is getting pretty much closed out now, but we're creating a lot of space for people just in case, and in some cases they probably will be using them. But I thought the general, he's been so impressive and done such a great job. I thought on behalf of the services and on behalf of the federal government, he'd say a few words about what we're doing right now. Thank you very much, General.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I just want you to know that on behalf of all of us in the Department of Defense, our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those patients, all those victims have been affected by this terrible virus. And the President and the Vice President talk all the time about the heroes, but I've been out there. I've seen the doctors, I've seen the nurses, and all those that have worked very, very hard. And we're just so proud to be part of this noble calling. For my team, I really made it very, very simple. I said there's 3 legs of this stool, and they all have S's. There are sites, or in other words, hospitals. We've got to worry about supplies, and we've got to worry about staff. And so right when Governor Cuomo called the president about almost 30 days ago, he said, I need some help worrying about what could be tens of thousands of hospital room shortages. So the president and Secretary of Defense asked us to fly to Albany with a team, and on the way up, we understood how complex of a challenge this was. And we knew there's no way you can solve a complex catastrophe with a complicated solution. We needed a very, very simple solution to be able to then work with HHS, to be able to work with FEMA, to be able to work with the Vice President's task force, and then to be able to power this down all the way down to the local level. Some of the governors asked us to try to build a hospital in a parking lot or a field in 2 or 3 weeks. You can't physically do that. So what we said was, let's go to where there's an existing facility, and I'm going to kind of make this in 2 big pots. Those that are either hotel rooms or college dormitories, smaller rooms, or those that are in real large areas like field houses or convention centers. And we designed those standard facilities that could be either non-COVID or COVID, and then we got that approved here at the federal government to be able to then power that back down. So we went to Governor Cuomo, and he said right up front, I love the concept, I need you in the Javits Center, I'm ready to start having your work tomorrow afternoon. So when we flew back that afternoon, the next day, we basically built this standard design and then continued to be able to power it down all the way down through the rest of the team. So I just wanted to show you a couple slides here, and we'll kind of let you know where we're at right now, Mr. President. We had to do a bunch of assessments. So somewhere in the order of over 1,100 different locations we went to, and we worked for FEMA, we worked for the President.